Once upon a time, there was a princess named Sophia. Sophia became a beautiful queen. Yes, she did, child. The people were enchanted by her voice. Sophia wanted to share her voice with others, so she traveled to another kingdom called Atlanta. Sophia's voice is now heard 5 days a week on WERUradio, child. Monday through Friday, 2 until 6 p.m. Eastern. And they all lived happily ever after.
Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here on WERUradio. WERUradio, we are the home of the urban sound of pride. Today we're in here with Daryl and Jasmine Pickett, and they are the CEOs of iCode Academy. I want to say iCode Academy, and then it's the iCode healthcare system. So we were talking about coding, and you're saying that when people, the easy way to explain is when people go to the doctors, when you are diagnosed with whatever, it is a code. And so you all have started a whole university when it comes to iCoding. It's like it's an academy, but you're teaching people how to become coders.
We are. We have a 24-week exam preparation course, and we're pretty much, teaching people to sit for the national certification exam. So earlier we were talking about how I went to school for 13 months. I went to school for 13 months. They taught me a bunch of stuff that really didn't even prepare me for the certification. So mind you, I'm in a billing and coding program, but I'm learning how to, do blood pressure and test urine, all this stuff. Answer phones in a doctor's office, all this stuff that had nothing to do with coding or let alone the certification exam itself. I mean, it's a 5-hour, 40-minute, 150-question exam, board exam. And so one thing that we did to, what we pride ourselves on is kind of taking fluff out of the program.
Right. So first of all, one thing we want to mention is that you can't become a coder without that CPC certification. It's a nationally recognized certification. It's actually worldwide recognized certification, but you have to have that CPC in order to become a coder. And so what we did, like she said, we decided to take out all the fluff and just teach our students what they need to get to certification, to pass that certification test. And so that's why we shortened the program down to 24 weeks. And also all we do is train and prep that student for the exam. We're licensed and educationally partnered with the credentialing agency, the largest credentialing agency in the world, the AAPC. And so their material, they allowed us to license it, tailor it to our students and present it in a way that they're able to understand when they get to that test what's needed.
Right. So what you all did is just like people like you saying you were going to school, you was taking all these courses and everything that had nothing to do with what you wanted to do.
Right.
So you all have taken all of that extra stuff that they were doing just to get you to come back for the next semester to make money off of you. So you all have shortened the program. And you also, y'all are a nonprofit organization, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the reasons we decided, like I said, we did some research in the coding industry and come to find out that the industry was mainly the industry was mainly made up of Caucasian middle-aged women in their retirement age. And, us being African Americans here and being in business and seeing, some of our friends that look like us struggle a little bit, we decided we wanted to make this opportunity available to all. We wanted to diversify the industry. So we wrote that up in our nonprofit 501c3 application, and it immediately came back approved. They saw the need for training organizations like ours to be in the African American community, allowing them opportunities, single mothers, people, who can't afford to go to your traditional college, who don't want to rack up, thousands of dollars of student loans, and this is stuff we had to go through. My wife, Jasmine, went through. And so we've kind of taken the bumps and bruises and understood what those are, and now translated to our students where they don't have to make the wrong turns that, we did in the back of the day, or other coders have done. And right now we get coders that's gone through university and say, hey, I I got a associate's degree in medical billing, but won't nobody hire me
Can't get a job.
because you don't have that certification.
Right. And as we sit here and talk about it, what I'm just thinking about is because a lot of people were laid off and they lost their jobs during the pandemic and all that stuff, and this is something that you can do from home. So coders didn't lose their job because they were already working from home.
Listen. Not only did we not lose our jobs, I promise you, and this is no cap, as the young people say, no cap.
No cap.
We were probably the busiest that we had been ever. I mean, it was just unreal because now you have all of these people who are sick. You know, of course, COVID is a terrible thing, but you have people who are going to the doctors for COVID or feeling like they got COVID. You know, hospitals are at capacity. That's all.
Somebody's got to pay for all that.
Pay for all of that. So unfortunately, while a lot of industries went under, ours absolutely flourished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and then during the break, we were talking about how a lot of people, you know, are coders and all this stuff, and then it's just like this is something that a lot of people had not even considered. And then when it comes to coding, it's not just you know the doctors. You named all the different professionals, all the different medical professionals that need coders. So just tell some of our listeners some of the professions that need coders.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I think that a lot of times people, you know, don't understand is that as a medical coder, you can work for so many different entities in the healthcare industry. So think about it this way. You ever go to the ER, right? And you get 2 bills. You ever wonder why you get 2 bills or 3 bills? Because now you have a bill from the physician, you have a bill from the facility, and you probably have a bill for the lab. Right. So there's coders for all those different levels. So you can be what's called a physician coder, a facility coder, because now the facility has to keep their lights on and they in turn have to pay the physicians. A lot of times the physicians can be staff of the hospital or their own entity. So if they're their own entity, they have their own coders that will make sure, okay, hey, if I'm doing this colorectal surgery on this patient, I need to make sure that the code represents that colorectal surgery so I can get all my coins in on the back end from the insurance company, which is how that works. And so even further, making sure that, okay, if I'm doing a colorectal surgery on somebody and we're looking for the procedure code for that, now it also has to go out with the correct diagnosis code. So if somebody is having colorectal surgery, you can't have a diagnosis code of chest pain because that doesn't make sense.
Right.
From insurance, now when the insurance company gets that, they're looking at that, they're saying, why should we pay from a medical necessity standpoint? Because everything boils down to medical necessity as well. Why should I pay for this colorectal surgery if you have chest pain? That makes no sense. Now, if you have hemorrhoids, might be a different story. So you have to tell the story to the insurance companies in order to make it make sense. And then there's coders that work on the insurance side as well.
Yes.
For about 6 years, I ran the fraud, waste, abuse, and fraud division with the United Health Group. And our whole team were essentially coders.
Yes.
So physicians who have been flagged for some sort of improper coding aberrancy, to where now, in order per their contract, since they're flagged, in order for them to be paid, their medical records, we have to comb through it to make sure, okay, hey, you did a colorectal surgery. These are the notes for that. Okay, you did these labs. Here are the notes for that. And we can say, okay, yep, this looks good. We're going to pay you. Or actually, no, we don't have any evidence of that. So we're not going to pay you. So you have it from that end. And then you also have it from the end of with providers who say, are doing it fraudulently, like on purpose. Because even though a provider can be flagged, it doesn't mean that they're doing it on purpose. Okay. So we do, on certain departments, we can assume positive intent, like you just didn't know, you know? Right. But then there's those doctors who actively knowing that they're doing claims.
And I'll say that's where I come in.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we decided to build our companies, we knew we had to be, we knew we had to know what we're talking about here, you know? So she encouraged me to go get my certified professional coding certificate or certification. I also became an auditor. We both are auditors. She has the CPCI, which is the instructor, and I'm now a certified professional compliance officer. And that compliance officer now starts to regulate all of the healthcare, industry as a whole, like, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And so having that knowledge base, you see her use, she can spit this stuff out all day, but having that knowledge base, we understand what's needed. We understand the layout and the land of this industry.
And although y'all are here in Atlanta, you all are still certified in Alabama, in Michigan, and where else you all are certified?
We're in North Carolina now. We're working on Florida. We're trying to gather the whole Southeast. And that's in our WorkSource program, where we now have federal funding where if you qualify, they'll pay for the entire course for you.
Okay, now we're going to take a break, but before we go on the break, you all have teamed up with, what is WIOA?
What's the acronym?
WERUradio program. That's WorkSource Georgia. It's a initiative by Barack Obama to help get people back in the community back to work, giving them quality education, training, and then job placement.
Okay, you hear it right here from Daryl and Jasmine Pickett, honey. Yes, honey. So we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and they're going to tell you how you can get involved and how you can take advantage of the programs that they are offering for you to become a world-renowned coder, honey. Yes. I'm your girl, Miss Sophia. Hold it down right here on WERUradio. WERUradio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. Praise God. They bringing jobs in here today, honey. Yes, they are. This is Ann Nesbitt with Living My Life. Here, right here on WERUradio. WERUradio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. That was El Varner with Only Wanna Give It To You. And I have two guests in here today, and they only want to give it to you, what they have to offer. This is Jasmine and her husband, Daryl Pickett. And they are the CEOs of iCode Academy. Hey. I just want y'all to know that you all have done it and y'all have set it up today. And I'm just letting George know right now, the CEO of WERUradio, I am leaving the hell up out of here and I'm going to become a coder, honey.
You're about to get us in trouble.
No, you're not. But seriously, say for instance, I'm coming to you and I want to start the academy. What do I need to do?
Okay, I'm going to let Daryl answer that one.
Yeah, so the registration process is very easy. You basically fill out a student enrollment agreement that allows you to understand what you'll be receiving from the course. Excuse me.
Get it out. Cough it. Get that Lysol.
I got my mask. You need
no mask. Get that Lysol, Jasmine.
No, excuse me, but yeah, all you got to do is give us a call, 866-553-2928, or visit us on the web, www.icodesacademy.org. The student registration forms are there. You can make your deposit on a secure PayPal link, and we'll get you started. That generates everything on our end, and we'll start mailing you out all your materials, your books, everything you need to get started for January 14th.
Now, you say y'all they need 3 books. There are 3 books that they need?
Yep, but we make it very easy for our students. So it's just one price and everything is included. Those all-inclusive deals you get when you go to those resorts. We want to make it where you just have to concentrate on learning, retaining that information. We don't want you worried about going to have to buy books, activating your membership, any of that. We just want you to come home to a quiet area where you'll experience our instructors live. You'll be able to ask in-class questions. They'll call on you to answer questions. They do a ton of screen sharing. So the classes are very, very interactive. But not only that, we also give you access to what's called our e-learning center. Now, that is a personalized web portal that allows you to re-listen to lectures, do your homework assignments, your study guides, your section reviews. You also take your tests and quizzes in there, and it does grade your test and quiz for you in real time, providing feedback or rationale as to why you got the questions correct or why you may have gotten it incorrect. So very, very automated, and you'll get all of that.
So you also talking about that, to pass this exam, you only need to pass with 70%. And you talked about you all walk them through the exams, y'all help them study and all of that stuff.
Yep. So we provide them with test-taking tips or techniques on how to pass that exam. It's a preparation course. Now, you're going to learn the nuances of coding through our course. We're not just teaching you how to, an algorithm to the exam. We want you to know what to expect, but the ultimate goal is to get the certification.
Right.
So what you'll do is you'll learn more of your real-life experiences on the job. But passing that exam and taking a course like ours gives you a year of experience, but it also gets you that certification you need.
And the tuition, you all have
So we have two options. Yep. We can go through, for those that are in the Atlanta, Georgia area, or just Georgia, period, we're with WorkSource Georgia. It's a federally funded program where if you qualify, they'll pay for the entire course for you. You just need to visit your local career center in the county that you live in and to see if you qualify. But for those that have to self-pay or out of pocket, we do have a 30% discount going on where you can get everything all inclusive for $32.50.
And like I said, this is a job opportunity that a lot of people hadn't even thought about when it comes to the medical field. And you can make up to $60,000 a year from home. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We do it and see it time and time and time after again. Our students are getting those certifications. We have a program that they go through a 12-week externship program. And then from our sister company, we use the relationships and the clients that we already have there just to, transition them on into a job. And so we've made it where our clients trust our trainers and our instructors, and they want to get the branding of coders that we're pumping out. It's a family. We call them iCoders.
And that's what I was going to say too, because just talking to you all in the studio when we're off, during the break, you all talking about how you get these students and the students come to you and you educate the students. The students, they go and they take the exams, and once they take the exams, most people, when you take the exam in college, the college is like, you go and find your job, but you all are still there and you are assisting them in finding employment.
Oh, please.
Yeah, no, we absolutely do. The certification that the students go for is the CPC, which stands for Certified Professional Coder. So granted, once you get the certification, you're going to be a coder. But I think a lot of times, that P part, that professionalism part is a lot of times where people, I think, go wrong. And with all the years of experience that I had with a particular company doing recruiting, I hired hundreds of coders for this particular company. So interviews is something I did all day long as I interviewed people, and just kind of understanding and teaching people what I saw, how to answer questions in an interview, what we're looking to hear, what somebody does not want to hear. Just sometimes those simple things. I mean, even down to having a proper email address. You wouldn't believe sometimes the just crazy email addresses, and I have to tell people, no, you cannot use that. First name dot last name at gmail.com is it. All that extra stuff, don't do that. If you're going to interview in a quiet place. Everybody knows we have families and kids that are at home due to COVID, but when you're interviewing for a job, nobody wants to hear all of that background noise. So just those sorts of things, how to put their resume together. We teach that, how to make everything that you did in the program, putting it on your resume in a way that it actually makes you marketable to clients. And then teaching you how to speak to that, how, especially for the students that go through our externship, which is after the class, which we call the iCode experience. It's a mock job environment where the students have to code 600 redacted medical records. And upon completion of coding those records, that gives them another year of basically experience under their belt. So we take all of that and show them how to actually put it on a resume that they can market, and that we can, kind of market and lobby on their behalf as well, but so that they can kind of, teaching them how to fish. A lot of the times the schools, like you said, you get your degree or certification, they bye. They don't really tell you, okay, what are good companies to, to go after? Where are companies, especially depending on what you want to do. A lot of times I tell my students that by the time you come out of the program, you kind of have an idea of what you gravitate to, because there's so many different types of coding, so you kind of have an idea of what you want to gravitate to. So now we can teach you, okay, if you're interested in this type of coding, these are the companies that handle this type of coding. If you're looking to go this direction, here are the organizations that hire for this. Teaching people how to use LinkedIn. I mean, sometimes people don't even know how to use LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is a gem. I'm talking about a heck of a gem. And so being able just to teach people how to do those things and just to understand how to get a job and how to present yourself is something else that that we do. That's a part of our program.
Like I said, we've kind of taken all of the rough roads, the hard paths traveled, and learned from that. And now we teach our students, hey, this is exactly how you're going to get onboarded, and this is what you need to say, and this is what they're looking for. Keywords, language, lingo. You got to learn that stuff in order to, fit in. And once you're in, you're golden.
And because of the success of your academy, I'm sure that a lot of people that are looking to hire coders, they reach out to you guys to recommend people for the positions,
All
right?
the time.
Yes, we have actual agreements with a few of our recruiters. As soon as we get a graduating class, they're already onboarding them into their system, which is awesome because there is no lag time between. They're already send me this, depending on what type of candidates, and we learn our students as we go. We know who they are, what their strong suits are. We get to know a little bit about their background, so we know we're not going to send them somewhere that, they're only looking for part-time, Right. So whatever they're wanting, we tailor it to that individual, the best we can. We can't make, 100 different types of, scenarios, but, based off what we know about the industry and the people that come, there's a few different ways we can send them that makes them very successful.
Okay, now I want you to give that telephone number and the address, the email address, out again. Yes. You don't know it. You don't know it, Daryl.
Yeah, I know it.
I have it right here. If you don't know it, Daryl.
I was gonna
let Miss Jasmine say.
So our telephone number is 1-866-553-2928. Again, that's 866-553-2928. We are open from 9 to 5. Please do not call at 8 o'clock p.m. We will not answer the phone. I don't know why.
But leave a message if you do.
What's the web address?
It is www.iCodes, with an S, iCodesacademy.org.
Now, we're going to take a break. But before we take a break, because a lot of people want, sometimes it's iCode.org or it's iCodes, and you were saying that the reason you had to put the S in there is because you was having challenges trying to get certain websites and stuff.
Yeah, well, iCode without the S, academy.org, is taken by a company out of Dallas, Texas, that teaches kids to do computer coding.
So they got it first. So we had the S.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Y'all welcome to stay if y'all want to stay.
No, we're here. We love hanging out with you.
All right. Well, I'm here with Sophia holding it down right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. And guess what, Daryl? And guess what, Jasmine?
What?
We get ready to roll into happy hour, baby. When we get a drink on, get a freak on, get a smoke on, get a pills on, whatever you want to do during happy hour, it is on and popping, and it's legal.
It's legal.
Right here at Club Chit Chat. Come on, baby. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding it down right here on We Are Your Radio. Home of urban music for the LGBTQI community and me. Between the hours of 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., this is Club Chit Chat. That's right. You know how we do it, honey. We're going to be talking about sports, politics, entertainment, and a little of this and a little of that. That's why we call this Club Chit Chat, baby. I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding it down right here on We Are Your Radio. Home of urban music for the LGBTQI community and me. Come on, baby, let's ride.